Hi, everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terrence Gardino. The week begins on Monday, January the 25th. And this is a big week, astrologically speaking. On Thursday, there's the full moon in dramatic Leo. On Saturday, communication Mercury goes retrograde once again for 3 weeks. But on Monday, we start the work week with the moon in Gemini. So there's a lot on our plate. We've got all these ideas, all these appointments. But the moon is void of course until 10:52 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So moon void of course, just continue with the projects previous from last week. And with the moon in Gemini, there could be a lot of different projects you need to complete. And you'll just have that flexibility, that adaptability with the moon in Gemini. But being void of course, do not start anything important new because the energy is flat to maintain it. 10:52 a.m. Pacific time. Now the moon enters into more caring, emotional Cancer. There's that overall for the next 2.5 days of more family-oriented, more nurturing, maybe want to more focus on domestic kind of projects or family projects. On Tuesday, the 26th, the sun in Aquarius will be squaring or throwing this major pressure onto Uranus. But Uranus is the planet associated with Aquarius. So the sun, Uranus, even though it's in tension, it can also trigger a great deal of activity with all things Aquarius and Uranus, since Uranus rules Aquarius. That's technology, the computer, the internet, learning about it, maybe updating your website, getting more involved with learning new computer techniques. On a personal level, this is about being much more looking to the future, being much more progressive, much more idealistic on Tuesday. On Wednesday, the moon in from about maybe 6 a.m. till 9:30, 10 a.m. Pacific time, the moon will be in opposition or interacting with others with Venus, pleasure-seeking Venus. This is a good day for having meetings, coming to win-win situations personally, especially if you are more in the afternoon or in the evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is very favorable socially, romantically. Now, the moon will leave emotional, caring Cancer and move into dramatic, outgoing, extroverted, fiery Leo at 6:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we're going where the Cancer energy is more reflective, more low-key. The Leo energy is more dynamic, more outgoing. And that is on Wednesday, the 27th. On Thursday, that moon in Leo will then be in direct opposition to the Aquarius sun. So when the moon and the sun are in opposition once a month, that's the full moon. And this full moon in extroverted Leo is going to be triggering optimistic, expansive Jupiter. So there's going to be a great deal of enthusiasm, optimism. Some of you may be falling in love or taking an existing relationship to the next level or finding some romance, in a marriage, because the full moon's in Leo. Leo is entertainment, it's romantic, it's playful. It could focus on having your inner child coming out because it can rule children. But the love planet Venus is aligning with Pluto once a year on this full moon. And Pluto wants to go deep, and Venus wants to connect more intimately. So this is a great day for meeting somebody new, or really feeling like your relationship is going to a more intimate place. The early part of the day, however, Pacific Standard Time, soon as the sun is rising, and all those next couple of hours, the moon will be opposing Saturn, restricted Saturn, squaring Uranus. There's going to be initially a lot of stress, but then the full moon just brings everything to light. And you're going to start feeling a lot more hopeful. Friday, that moon continues in dramatic, playful Leo, but by early evening, let's say 5 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the moon, which is this emotional energy, will be in confrontation to Mercury, this analytical, rational energy. Now, on the positive, this is good for creative writing, for the imagination. But when you're trying to have a more mundane discussions, agreement, that would be the Mercury, you may be a little bit too emotional or subjective. But for most of the world, that's Friday evening or into the early mornings of Saturn. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And maybe with all that creative, inspirational energy, maybe many of you will have vivid dreams as you go to sleep Friday night. Saturday, now the 30th, discerning, communication, planning, Mercury goes retrograde until February the 20th. Now, you've heard the mantra with Mercury in retrograde. Don't sign contracts, don't make commitments, don't make promises, because with Mercury in retrograde, what you're expecting could turn out to be different. You don't have all the information to make the right decisions. It is favorable for stopping yourself from just barreling forwards with all your goals and plans for the new year and taking a time out to reflect, but also to retool, to re-edit. Make sure that what you've been doing through January is making sure that you've crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's. So it can be very favorable for renegotiating, reconnecting. It's also when people can reconnect, that's that retrograde, to old projects, old relationships, new projects. You really want to just do more homework before you commit and act on it after February the 20th. But you can pull an old project off the shelf and start it up again. You can reconnect to old clients and customers and get things going again, but not trying to find new ones. So there's a lot of positive energy with Mercury and retrograde. You just have to understand what's going on. Now, before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for a 1-question offer for a nominal fee. You can order it by going online to astrologyanswers.com. At the top of the page, you'll see a tab marked Advisors. Click on that, scroll down until you find my name, click on my name, and you can sign up for the 1 question. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.